Man, I'm so glad I couldn't have this brand new board game. I can't wait to get it out and play it. Hey guys, we should totally play Root. Hey guys, we should totally play a game of Everdell. I recently bought the wooden tree, which makes the game so much better. Oh, I love Kalis. We should totally play Terraforming Mars again. I haven't played Viticulture in a long time. We should totally now add in the Tuscany expansion to the mix. So cold. I think Codenames is in this cupboard. Give me a sec while I try and find it. So, is everybody ready to start playing the game? With hundreds of board games being released each year, many board games often slip under the radar or have been purchased and left in a cupboard still in their shrink wrap to gather dust, or even worse, to not have even seen a single play before being traded off or shipped off to somebody else. In this new video series, I attempt to brush off the cobwebs, blow off the dust, and go in search of 5 board games that you may have forgotten about or you might not have even heard of. Also, if you're a huge fan of board games and really like my content, don't forget to check out my Patreon page, link in the description box below. Mr. Face is a party game where players compete against each other to create a range of silly facial expressions using geometric cardboard shapes that match a secret verbal expression chosen by the leading player. Whichever player is the best at matching the quote cards to their respective facial expressions over each round owns the most points and wins the game with a smile on their face. Like Toy Story's Mr. Potato Head or some sort of cardboard cosmetic surgeon, players in a game of Mr. Face are going to be using a range of different cardboard facial parts to create a range of different expressions to theme cards taken from this deck. Each player begins a round with 5 theme cards, with one player being donned the role of the face maker. The face maker draws a card from the deck which becomes the theme for the face that they will create for the round. Like in The Sims, the face maker then customizes a facial expression using the range of different face parts. These include some cardboard circle shapes to create some very curious looking eyes, or how about some super straight or curly whirly eyebrows, or even a range of cheeky mouth expressions. The face maker has a lot of freedom when it comes to face generating. They could go for an anime style face, or even a Simpsons inspired cartoonish expression. Nevertheless, all players then play a card from their hand that they think matches the expression that the face maker has created. Players then guess which is the correct answer by using this coloured cardboard cursor. If a player guesses the face correctly, they score 1 point. If players pick the face maker's card, then let's face it, the face maker scores points as well. Mr. Face is a unique party game that is driven by the creativity of the face maker and how they interpret the quotes that they're given. Creating a face for other players to guess is both fun, creative, and hilarious. There are a limited number of theme cards that appear in this game, so it's important to be aware that after a couple of games, you're probably going to see quite a few quotes come up again and again, but the combination of the quotes and how they come up is going to be different each time. Tag, you're it! Imagine a board game that combines the word-building elements of Scattergories and the dexterity elements of the game Hungry Hippos. Well, that game is Tags. Tags is a word game that has players racing to try and grab giant balls. Marbles, in fact, that connect a starting letter and a category together. The players, or teams of players who can aptly and speedily name words that begin with certain letters but also fall into specific categories, will be able to collect the most balls, earn the most points, and be crowned the best ball gathering players and word sleuths in the game.
Across a game of tags, at the beginning of each round, players will place letters in these vertical slots and the different category tags in these horizontal spots. Players are essentially trying to think of a word that starts with the letter indicated that also fits the category listed in the column. For example, it might be coming up with the name of an animal that lives in water that begins with H. For instance, a herring. It is a race, as players only get 15 seconds to say their answer, grab the marbles, and place it in this very fancy dog bowl shaped container. Once the 15 seconds is up, the box rotates to the next team or player, and their time begins. Players will alternate in this way until all of the marbles are gone. Different marbles have different point values. Black marbles are worth 3 points, blue worth 2, and white worth 1. If players ever clear a column belonging to a single category, they acquire the tag for the column and earn points equal to the stars listed on that tag at the end of the round.
Tags is a simple yet fast adrenaline-pumping filled word game that has players losing their marbles and flying off in all directions. Players are literally on their feet as they're trying to think about possible answers to give on their turn as well as on their opponent's turn. The 15-second timer adds a heap of pressure as it clocks around quickly, and some of the turns fly incredibly fast. Some of the letter mashups with the categories themselves can often leave players feeling really stumped. I love the fact that the game features over 200 different category cards and quite a few different letter combination twists. There are letter categories that even state things like includes the letter TH. I often play this game with no more than 3 teams with pairs of players on each team, and this ensures that the game goes super fast and there's always someone there to help you out. To even it out further, I make sure that each team gets a chance to go first. Tags is a super fun party game that feels like a game show right inside your living room. Looney Quest is an exciting dexterity drawing style party game for fans of Super Mario Bros. And Donkey Kong Country, as they propel themselves through 7 different fantasy worlds of escalating difficulty and 2 special bonus stages. The player who is able to visualize the path best and draw it the best will be able to gain XP in the form of coins and be declared the winner of the game.
Fans of side-scrolling video games will immediately recognize the progressively difficult and challenging nature each world in a game of Looney Quest has to offer. Collecting coins, avoiding traps, defeating bosses, and triggering access to mystery bonus levels offers a doorway to gaming nostalgia through a board game. The twist here is that each player will be using a transparent screen and attempt to draw a path from their perspective so it covers up the items that they want to collect or access without touching the traps and minions along the way. After drawing their attempt, players then superimpose their transparent sheet on top of the level itself to determine how many XPs they gained or lost. Some levels even have side quests to encourage players to gain extra bonuses. Like driving over a slippery banana in Mario Kart, Looney Quest also amps up the dexterity element as well. If players trace over a power-up icon in a level, gain extra abilities like throwing a banana token onto another player's screen while they're drawing, adding a mosquito to the top of a player's pen so they have to balance it when they draw, use a shield to ignore the effects of a trap, or gain XP bonuses. If players accidentally trace over a penalty token, players suffer some negative dexterity effects, such as drawing without bending their elbow, holding the pen in a pincer grip, drawing with one eye closed, drawing with their non-dominant hand, or drawing with the screen on this kaleidoscopic vortex background enough to make a Technicolor yawn look like a lovely thing to watch. If players can link, loop, mark, and draw lines so that they can conquer each world and defeat each boss, they will be able to earn the most XP and win the game.
I absolutely adore and love Looney Quest. I think it is a superb family game. There is an immense sense of joy when you see another player try to balance a mosquito on the end of their texter whilst trying to avoid a banana, as well as trying to complete the level's objectives by mere sight. You're engaging several dexterity skills at the same time, which makes the game both fun and challenging. The theme of the different worlds and variation in how each world plays out shines through very strongly. It is an innovative, great family game that even after you've completed all 7 worlds, the game still offers some excellent replayability when you play it with different groups or when you play it in teams.
Alright, I'm ready to draw and ready to complete the hardest level in this board game.
Ever wondered what it's like to work at a fast food restaurant or open your very own burger joint? Well, in Burger Up, you can make cardboard burgers by putting those dreams to the test without getting your hands dirty as you purchase ingredients, fulfill orders, and try and build the most zany burgers possible.
In Burger Up, players are thrown an apron and thrust into the cutthroat world of kitchening. Building burgers requires lots of sweat, your sweat in fact, to create the most juiciest burgers possible. Across a round, players will be attempting to build burgers that fulfill the requirements listed on these top bun cards. It might be constructing a vegetarian burger with 4 different types of salad, or a chicken avocado burger with the trimmings. Across each turn, players will be purchasing their ingredients from the market row by paying a coin. Using the ingredients collected, players will place up to 3 ingredients from their hand onto an empty burger base or ingredient that was placed prior. It's important to note that ingredients here are dual-ended and can be rotated 180 degrees. Each ingredient placed specifies the next ingredient that needs to be placed next to it. Players then score points in the Burger Up phase if their burger satisfies the requirements of a top bun, and the number of ingredients determines the level of reward players gain. Bonus coins are given for each perfect ingredient used. Players can also upgrade their base buns if they build a colossal sized burger, and the spatula can be used as a way of moving ingredients around. The player with the most delicious burgers and the most points wins.
Burger Up has an exceptionally puzzly feel to it, kind of like that beautiful melted cheese that you have on your favorite burger. It's as if you're working out which ingredients to draft, as well as thinking 2 or 3 turns ahead and trying to stack the ingredients in a way to fulfill the top bun requirements before the other players do. You're also trying to build a really tall burger so that you can gain bonuses and use it as a way of upgrading your kitchen, so that the more ingredients you string together, the more coins that you're going to gain. The game also has an excellent Burgers of the World expansion that features other types of burgers that use very specific ingredients found from around the globe, or additionally, you can download the Burger Up game recipe book that provides a multitude of alternative ways to play the game, such as Burger Go inspired by Sushi Go, or Hana Burger inspired by the game Hanabi, or Between Two Burgers inspired by the Stegmaier game Between Two Cities, and Burger Trucker inspired by Galaxy Trucker. Hello and welcome to Gardening with Board Game Sanctuary. Today we'll be making one of my favourite burgers of all time. For today's burger, we're going to spread some wheat cards on the base of the bun. We're going to place some fish tokens on top. And to spice it up, we're going to add some disease cubes. Delicious! For millions of years, the planet of Selenia has been in planetary stasis, with the northern hemisphere in constant darkness and the southern hemisphere in constant light. Players take to the skies by travelling in this bright yellow airship, a beacon of light to the people of Selenia, as you transport goods to them to earn the most gold stars possible.
Game of Selenia. Players will be taking to the skies as they pilot their own airship board, playing one of these very holy cards onto the game board. These cards are placed within travelling distance to the mothership, as well as being placed adjacent to any cards a player has previously played. Players can play a card on a floating production island to gain the number of resources from the island listed on the card number, whether it be wood, stone, wheat, or water. Alternatively, players can play their card with a hole on a floating city to gain gold stars, to then trigger a delivery action to fulfill a delivery tile that matches the time zone that they are currently in. Acquired delivery tiles are attached to players' airships, gaining them victory points, extra resources, and unlocking bonuses from the ship itself. Playing a card with 0 on it moves the yellow airship forward, causing the bottom of the map tile to be flipped and moved to the front of the world map. Any cards that fall off because of this scores extra resources for those players. Essentially, this mechanism is basically the mothership orbiting the planet around and around. Whoever develops the most efficient resource gaining and delivery system engine will win the game, and be declared the brightest player of all.
Thematically, I love the idea that in Selenium, all players are traveling on this airship that moves across a rotating board, simulating what it might feel like to orbit a planet. The whole cards are quite intuitive and multifunctional as well. They're unique and interesting as they allow players to see what production planets they've been to, as well as what production planets other players have been to. I like the timing factor of these cards, that when you place them on the map board and as those map tiles flip over and move to the front, they trigger certain resources that you can acquire. So timing the use of these cards is quite important for getting the right combination of things you need to acquire those day and night tiles, which you can add to your airship. I guess that's the whole point of them, isn't it? Hey dude, it looks like someone hole punched your card. Let me have a look at that. Holy moly, you're right. I also like the modular nature of the airships that players have, because it allows you to track and choose what sort of resources you're going to gain and how you're going to efficiently gain those gold stars. They're stuck on my finger. Why are you turning on and off the lights? I'm trying to play a game here. To be honest with you, I thought it would help your gameplay feel a lot more immersive. Hey everybody, welcome to the bonus section of this YouTube video. Today I'm going to introduce you to a 6th board game that you probably haven't heard about. It's by an Australian designer and I really love supporting Australian board game designers. In Animals, Fight for Survival, players take on the role of rangers who attempt to nurture a chosen biome of their choice, whilst attempting to care for species from other biomes as well. The player who has the most well-developed sanctuary and ecosystem will be declared the ultimate ranger of all.
Throughout a game of Animals, players will select a biome to become a ranger of, including forest, desert, river, and scrub biomes. Each player will begin with up to 9 cards and select an Eden card and 3 Sanctuary cards from their chosen biome. On a player's turn, players can choose from one of 3 actions: Endangerment, Sanctuary, or Clash. When players perform an endangerment action, all rangers place an animal card into their ecosystem from either their hand or their sanctuary. Players then have to face a danger that threatens their biome by rolling the danger die, which they can overcome by playing a card with certain icons from their hands, which is placed in a life cycle pile. Performing a sanctuary action allows a player to place a species card from their hand directly into their sanctuary, whilst performing a clash action is kind of like having an Aussie animal face-off with another player. During a clash action, players each select an animal to play from their hand to face off with. If a species played has a weakness against a particular power the other player's species has, then the weakened species loses immediately. Otherwise, the result of the clash is determined by this very nifty matrix based on comparing the different species' attributes. The player who wins 3 layers in this matrix wins the clash. Winning a clash allows a player to draw from the bottom of their life cycle deck. Animals is ultimately a game that emulates the biodiversity of fauna in Australia, whilst emphasizing the importance of animal conservation and education at the same time.
After dusting off those cobwebs and uncovering some of those games that have been sitting on the back shelf of my board game collection for so long, I hope I've uncovered some hidden gems that might be some good additions to your board game collection. Hopefully not in the back of your cupboard. But anyway, thank you once again for joining me for another Board Game Sanctuary video. If you really like my videos, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I look forward to bringing you another high quality video in the near future. This is Danny signing out. I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye.